What's going on, everybody? Right now we are on the way back to the A2 wind tunnel in Mooresville, North Carolina. We are with the high-speed BMW today, which is going to be super cool because it has a set of our canards on it, our splitter with our small tunnels. It has our Apex 12 dual element wing and our modular diffuser. We have 2 or 3 hours, I think, in the tunnel, so we should get some good runs. And what'll be cool is we can kind of cross them over to the CFD work that we had done. So yeah, so I'm excited. Should be cool. So stay tuned. All right, guys, here we are at the A2 wind tunnel in Mooresville, North Carolina. You might be able to see the logo up there, but yeah, this place is awesome. I was here a few months ago. I'll put a tag up in the video up here to when we were here with race louvers, doing a bunch of hood louver tests along with our wing tests. So watch that one if you're interested in this wind tunnel stuff. And then this one should be pretty good as well. So it's pretty loud in here, but it's super badass. Oh, we're waiting. We're waiting. He just wants to do one change at a time.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought we were just the next one.
Yeah. I got the duct tape if you need it. Alright, so what we did in this one, we ended up adding little fences right here to block this gap of the air hitting the tire. So let's see what these tufts end up doing around here, see how they change. So as you can see, just this little thing on both sides added 25 pounds to the front. So who would have thought that? Wait, how hard is it to drop the front? Okay. See what I mean? Like if you were like had more time and shit, like bring the car, like slam to the ground and just sit it on like a piece of 1/2-inch plywood or something and then just slide it out. Car drops a half and then like we're ready to run like that, you know? Did you hang out here at all and watch these?
What's that? Yeah.
Like, you see how these ones like go, and as you go further back, see how this one just stopped like this?
Yeah.
Like this one like is like barely moving.
Yeah.
Because this far back, you're like hardly getting any flow out.
So I should like,
you know what?
Next to
well,
moving forward.
Maybe a tad, but if you closed this off,
Yeah,
these would work better too. Oh, this one was really cool. I was trying to show this earlier. So this one you can see, even though it's up here, it comes all the way down and is getting caught in the low pressure zone under the wing. So that's pretty neat. And then the very first run we did when this upper flap was all the way up, these ones were still attached here. So that's a good sign as well. So what's each turn? Quarter inch? No.
Like an 1/8 of an inch.
So you're going down like a quarter?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So if we end up going down a 1/4 inch at the strut, the axle center line, it's probably 3/8 at the splitter. We're trying to get the splitter closer to the ground right now. All right, so we're still struggling with front grip. We're just going to try and push that splitter down a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Would you like to say anything for my video?
Yeah, well, thank you for coming, AJ. And looks like we got a lot of work to do, but at least we know which direction we're going.
Yeah, definitely. Good thing. Alright, well that's it for today. Unload time. Alright guys, so that's about it for this one. I hope you learned something. It's always interesting going to the wind tunnel. Earlier in the video I put the tag up here of the first time I went with race louvers. Yeah, a lot of times stuff like this almost brings up more questions than answers. There's a bunch of runs we would have liked to have done. This whole deal came together kind of quickly with the Thai Speed guys and I believe it was the USC Formula SAE team kind of working together. So two big things to note are the radiator ducting was never done, which is why in the beginning we actually had a little bit of lift, even though the car had you know, a big splitter on it, canards and all that stuff. And the other thing was the splitter angle was never checked. So when we got there, the first run, when I saw that there was lift in the front, I knew something was up. The splitter was actually raked upwards, so that the leading edge of the splitter was higher than the rear. So, you know, a combination of lifting the rear of the car or lowering the front was sort of able to get us a little bit of splitter angle. So those two things we were kind of fighting to try and get some front downforce. But yeah, definitely learned a ton. Those little rectangular tire blockers, I'll call them, I put on the splitter, adding 25 pounds of downforce on the front. Aside from the lifting the rear of the car half of an inch, that was the next best improvement that we did on the car. And if you see Tyler's car now, he ended up fabricating something very similar to that, you know, as part of his you know, what he runs on track now because of that. Blocking the cowl was kind of cool, but yeah, ducting the radiator would have been a huge help on the front end. So that's where I'll show you what I got here. So this is how much of an aero nerd I am. These are all the articles in race car engineering, either the Aero bites or if there was anything where they did any like CFD. So there's a car in the wind tunnel. What are these? Some CFD stuff. So I cut out and saved all these articles in this little binder. But this one right here, from actually March 2013. So this Subaru, where did they do it? Oh, it's in the second one. Maybe the third one. You can see they're playing with like extra, you know, flaps and stuff, adding little splitter lips, and they give you all the numbers and everything. So this picture, you can see that they taped off all of the grills. Now that's obviously an extreme example of radiator ducting, but you can see that when they tape all the inlets, it goes from 1.8% front downforce all the way up to 62.5% front downforce. So, you know, anytime you can close up openings in the front of the car, or at least duct your radiator so any air going through goes through the radiator, or whatever heat exchanger you're aiming it towards, you know, always a plus for sure. So anyways, I feel like I'm rambling a little bit. If you like this video and you learned something, please give it a thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button as well. I definitely want to head back to the wind tunnel. If you have a vehicle and you want to go to the wind tunnel and want me to go with you, please just reach out. I'd love to go back. And I think that's about it for this one. So as always, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.